Good morning, film appreciators! Welcome back to today's video.
So today we're gonna be doing a Q&A mixed in with the
A mukbang.
mukbang.
Today we have strawberries, cherries, and 3 dark chocolate Oreos. Yes, people, they're on the market.
Okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and look at some questions that you guys asked us through
Twitter. It's gonna be a film history edition.
yeah. So okay. So the first question is for both of us. This person asked, "What are your guys' 3 favorite films watched for film history?" Okay, you can start.
Oh, I bit strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to eat.
So, my top 3 were definitely Singing in the Rain, American Me, and 3 Identical Strangers.
My 3 favorite films were Brick, Stand and Deliver, and also 3 Identical Strangers.
And, okay. You get the next one? Or, oh, okay. So, this one is for any girl. This person asked you, Stephanie, which aspect of Brick made it a favorite for you? Sorry.
Very good question. Brick was one of my favorites because I had never watched a noir movie before, and I really liked how it was kind of slow paced and yet really suspenseful at the same time. And the storyline, like, all together, it just combined for a really good movie. Okay,
I agree.
Okay. This next question is for Tree. This person is asking, as an underrated film, what made American Me stand out for you?
Okay, so, like, quite honestly, I didn't even know American Me existed until we did our presentation on Edward James Olmos, and I was looking into some of the movies he acted in, and that was one of the movies he also produced, one of the first films he produced. And to me, just something that made it really stand out was the fact that it captures, like, the prison system and just the community for racially, like, not inferior. What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
that's a good word for it, racially inferior.
Like, racially inferior communities, and just people that, like, are, like, obviously like low income and stuff like that. I feel like he really captured the gang violence and the culture that surrounds LA. And oh my god, I love this song.
I bit the pit really hard.
Oh, sorry guys, because we're also eating cherries and there's that little, like, seed inside. Anyways, and I was, like, really impressed because when I was, like, researching more into the film, still talking about American Me, like, there was, in the production videos, there was, like, explaining how there was, like, real prisoners acting in the film, and, like, they had to, like, go through this whole process of actually getting into the prison and learning the prison life from real prisoners who later actually, like, acted and were in as background people. And I just feel like so much effort was put into the film, especially for being one of almost first productions. It was really impressive and I just loved it. And like as a Mexican girl, him being a Mexican guy, you know? Yeah.
It was other one.
Oh.
Excuse my co-partner.
Okay.
That was awkward.
This one's for Stephanie. Stand and Deliver is another underrated film. Was it more the storyline or the message that spoke to you?
I think both combined really well to tell a good story. Stand and Deliver was one of the first films that I watched. Was the first film that I watched in the class, and I really liked how it was one of the first films to tell a story about, like, Mexicans that was really impactful. Like Vicky said, it was Edward James Olmos that we were researching, and his films as an overall, and him as an overall, he was a really, like, big proponent for the advancement of I need to be serious. So Latino opportunities and like all the work he just did to make sure that Latinos were put on the map. Like that's what I like to see out of a person as big as like him. And I really liked how somebody like with a title and with influence was able to do that much for people who didn't really have a lot of opportunities for them, and how he was able to change that. The next question is for Vicky. This person says, Vicky, I thought you didn't like musicals. What made you like Singing in the Rain?
Okay, so before this class, the only musical I would watch would be like High School Musical movies and stuff, and that's like all I was really exposed to, just because like I don't know, I found musicals kind of annoying. But like then I actually like started getting into it, and Singing in the Rain, it was just like such a cute story, and like the music was so catchy. And beyond like the catchiness of the music, like I really felt, or I started noticing how much of the plot was furthered through the song. So it wasn't like you were just listening to a song and then like they're actually telling the story through the songs, and that was like really interesting to me. And like it made me appreciate musicals as an overall a lot more. And just Singing in the Rain, like I said, like there's those iconic scenes of like him like literally like singing in the rain, dancing with his umbrella, and like to this day I find myself like singing, 'cause I'm singing in the rain and I'm happy again.
This next question is for the both of us. It says, we've heard both of you speak very highly of Three Identical Strangers. Talk about how your opinion of documentaries has changed because of this one.
You go first.
I always thought, like, prior to having watched Three Identical Strangers, I had watched some documentaries, but it would never be my first choice to watch. But Three Identical Strangers made me realize how much you can really get out of documentaries. Like, it's not just something, oh, let me put this on for entertainment, like, really fast. Like, you can actually learn from it, and that's something that I never really focused on or, like, considered as a factor when, like, picking something to watch on Netflix. But I really like that Three Identical Strangers, like, brought light to an issue that was kind of kept in the dark, and how it affected a lot of people, but it was kept, like, under wraps rather than, like, exposed. And yeah, I just really liked it. Like, I actually like I make a point to watch documentaries now, like, more often than I did before.
Okay, so for me, before this film, I had like this like really closed-minded idea of documentaries only being like animal ones. Like my cousin and my uncle are like really into like the Discovery Channel and stuff, and like I would always go over and they'd be watching like just like fish swim and stuff, and that was like so weird to me. And I was like, I was kind of skeptical about watching it at first, but then we started watching it, and it was like really interesting. Like I was really impressed by how like a person, or not a person, like a director could take, not that it's an everyday story, because obviously that's not something that happens like every day, but take a normal person's life and make it so interesting and portrayed in such a way that it like actually like draws your attention and like makes you be at the edge of your seat. Like I think that's like something that really stands out to me, how like a documentary can like literally make you feel like you're watching a real film. Oh, sorry, we have an ad right now. Anyways, yeah, and I really like that. And then another thing, like just realizing how documentaries are not obviously restricted to like animal stuff, like
Animal stuff.
yeah. I like I watched Whitney for my outside viewing, and I really liked that one. So now like I'm more inclined to watching documentaries than I would have been before watching that. And yeah. Okay. So this question is for both of us again. This person asked, which film will you never watch again?
For me, the answer is kind of easy. I will never again watch Isle of Dogs.
Why?
I think it was a really hard movie to understand as an overall, like, I was kind of falling asleep through the beginning of it, so I missed, I know you do. So I missed like a really like I missed like the most important parts of it. And then once I woke up, I couldn't understand any more of it, and I really just I really did not want to go like back and watch it all over again. But yeah, I love dogs. Like while I can appreciate that it's a good movie for the social criticism that it has and all of the messages and the just like the things that make it a film, like the stop motion
Animation.
Yeah, stop motion animation. Like while I can appreciate all of that, it's just I won't watch it again. How about you?
For me, it was definitely Sunrise. The movie was just so weird, and I understand that it was because of the older stuff that like the actors like really overplayed stuff, but like the whole like like it just it frustrates me so much, and like that's just not like I realize, like Stephanie said, like I'm able to appreciate how much it's contributed to the film industry as a whole, since it was one of like the newer films that started including like dialogue and stuff like that. But I just didn't like it. I feel like the acting was like really like Rosa de Guadalupe stats. I just didn't like it, but yeah.
Okay, the next question asks is for both of us again. It says, how do you feel like your learning in this class has shaped how you will watch films in the future?
Well, ever since we started learning about concepts like mise en scène and like panning and stuff like that, just like actual like editing type of things, like what's in the screen is for a reason and stuff. And then like we kept learning more and more and just about the genres in general. That's something that I normally wouldn't like take into account when watching a film. I would just kind of watch a movie for, you know, just entertainment, just, oh, I'm bored, let me watch a movie. But now, like, I can't help but notice, like, all these small details, like, all the illusions that are present in movies. It's like, I feel like movies, for me, has become a lot like reading a book. Like, there's so much more. There's, like, what you see on the surface. Like, if you just read the lines, yeah, you're just gonna get a plot and a story, and then that's it. But when you watch it, like, more carefully and more detailed, like, you actually understand that there's mainly always, like, a deeper message to a film than just like to entertain you. There's like a lot of effort that's put into like this production, and like every choice that the directors make is supposed to contribute to the movie as an overall. So it just makes me appreciate everything about movies more.
I think for me, one thing that I feel like I'll take away from the class is how I'll see how the little things contribute to what makes a movie like really good, I guess. One thing that I've noticed is that I always take into account how the score contributes to the mood of the film. Like, for example, like the most recent example, A Quiet Place. I really liked how, even though it was a really silent film, the music really contributed to how the film made the audience feel. Like at the times where the music was more suspenseful. I use that word a lot in the sentence. Even though the music was more the fact that the music was more suspenseful made me feel like I could really follow along with the movie, even though it was quiet most of the time, and it could have otherwise been hard to understand if it didn't have the good music in it. But overall, I really like this class, and that I was introduced to things that I otherwise would have never been introduced to. Like how Vicky mentioned, otherwise, like, I would have never known about like mise en scène or panning. And so that is why I loved film history.
Me too. I just wanted to say, WP, for this being the first you taught this class, you did an amazing job.
Very amazing job.
It was really impressive to see how, like, you as a teacher could just speak off of the top of your head about so many of the concepts that we were learning. Just because, like, again, it's the first year teaching this class, and like, I have teachers that have been teaching their class for like 4 or 5 years now, and they still have to refer to the book whenever I ask a question. And like, you're just such an educated like person as an overall, and I really enjoyed your class. So thank you so much for all the effort you put in. And yeah,
to go off of what my friend Virginia was saying, I think you did a really good job with the class. I know, like, you say a lot, this mistake I made, like, for next year, but I really don't feel like you made a lot of mistakes, and so congratulations, you did very well. How do we end this?
Okay,
I think we might just cut it right here. How do we end it? No? Okay.
We're gonna wait till actually this song is almost over and I don't really know any more of the lyrics, but
So thank you guys for watching our film history edition mukbang, or healthy girl edition.
yeah, healthy girl minus the Oreo cookies.
Thank you for hanging in for 15 minutes because
wow, that's tough. Are we really gonna show this all in class?
that's like an eighth of the class.
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. And
Stay tuned for our YouTube channel. It's gonna come soon one day.
have a filmful Friday!